Welcome back to Sport on 7 this week. So far, football, rugby and cricket. And now it's time for a roundup of all the big stories that have been making the headlines in the UAE. Here is Chris McHardy chatting to me once again about the things that we need to know about. Yeah, well, plenty of local sport to get through over the next few minutes or so. But let's, of course, quickly mention Manchester United and Sir Alex Ferguson, only because Chris McHardy for Sport 360 is a big United fan. Never been to Manchester, have you?
I have, actually.
Thoughts on, of course, an emotional week at Old Trafford?
Absolutely gutted. I think it's the word that all Manchester United fans, I'm sure, will say, Tom. 26 and a half years in charge, 38 trophies. He is the greatest manager of all time. I don't think that's in question. It's been a great road as well. Of course, you may recall 4 years it took before he won that first title, the FA Cup, in 1990. So it's been a long time. He's all I've known, 26 and a half years. Myself, I'm just turning 27 in August, so he was in charge from November 1986. It's a great loss to Manchester United, but of course, with a club of that stature, we must move on. David Moyes now in charge, another Scot, which is good for myself, the 8th Scottish manager in Manchester United's history, which is another great little fact as well. So good luck to David Moyes next year. It is a big job to fill.
Are United going to be relegated next season?
I don't think so, but it will be very tough for David Moyes. A lot of investment, the likes of Jose Mourinho looking to be back at Chelsea next season. Arsenal will kick on again, and of course, as well, Manchester City, who I know we'll touch on in a few moments. So there's loads of things going to be happening this season, so it's a very, very tough ask for David Moyes.
You forgot about Newcastle, of course, getting back towards those Champions League spots as well. Let's move over from the red side of Manchester to the blue side then, of course. At the time of recording Sport on 7 this week, it's not looking great for Roberto Mancini, and I imagine by the time we film next week's episode, he would have gone from his post at Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. For Roberto Mancini, it looks like time is up.
Certainly looks to be the case, Tom. Of course, Roberto Mancini, a second FA Cup in 3 years, defeat on Saturday against Wigan, and all the reports now are saying that the Malaga coach Manuel Pellegrini will be appointed in the coming days, as you say. Even some reports that Roberto Mancini might not make it until Reading on Tuesday evening, of course the final game of the season against Norwich. Manuel Pellegrini's been lined up. Czech Bergestein, the director of football at Manchester City, has met with Manuel Pellegrini's agent in Spain just a few weeks ago. So by all accounts, he will be the new manager of Manchester City next season. And of course, you could say it's quite harsh on Roberto Mancini. 2 titles in his 3 years in charge. Of course, the FA Cup, then the Premier League, which was their first league title in 44 years. But as I say, the nature of the beast that is football these days, you just do not get time. And it looks as if Manuel Pellegrini will be the man to step in to Roberto Mancini's shoes.
Funny to think, actually, as well, isn't it? You look at Sir Alex Ferguson, who didn't win a trophy for the first 4 years at Old Trafford, but they stuck with him. And as you say, sign of the times, Mancini gets 2 titles at City within 3 years. Not good enough. Unbelievable the way football has gone. Pellegrini, though, fantastic manager, of course, did have a year at Real Madrid, actually. I read a great quote from him about managing Real Madrid. He said, it's all well and good having a team of an orchestra of 11 great guitarists, but sometimes I need someone who can play the piano, and I wasn't allowed to get one.
And it's so true. I mean, it's interesting with Pellegrini as well. This is a manager who, you're right, 12 months in charge of Real Madrid, 96 points, which at the time was a record point haul, yet no trophy, because of course Pep Guardiola's Barcelona, all conquering, they were taking football to a whole new level. So Pellegrini, he has managed a big club. He did very, very well at Real Madrid. It will be interesting to see, though, how he adapts to the Premier League. I think that's the key.
Absolutely. Champions League for Pellegrini, though, also very good, of course. Has got Malaga into the Champions League for the first ever time.
Quarter-finals as well, and of course he led Villarreal to the semi-finals, where Riquelme, you may recall, missed a penalty against Arsenal, a great save from Jens Lehmann, and then Arsenal go on to win that before going on to the final against Barcelona. So he's a manager with pedigree. I do have a little reservation about just how well he does. The Premier League, it's a rough in the tumble. He likes to get the ball on the deck, so look out for how he does in English football. It'll be very interesting.
It's going to be a great battle next season, isn't it? Now, one man who left the Premier League quite a while ago now to come here to the UAE is Asamoah Gyan. He plays his football for Al Ain, and he really has been an ambassador for the sport here in the UAE. Top goal scorer for this season.
He is indeed, Tom. 30 goals now. It's a record in the UAE Pro League. 30 goals, which overtakes Al Bouri Laz haul of 29 goals in the 98-99 season for WADA. He's a man on form. Interesting, we talked to Asamoah Gyan last week, and we actually said that his future is in doubt. He has said himself that he doesn't know what the future holds, but as a striker in this league, he's the best bar none. 30 goals for the season, a quite incredible haul, and let's hope for us here that he stays in this region because he is a great ambassador for the game.
Pro League, by the way, really is coming on leaps and bounds. Next season will be bigger and better. We'll have more on that throughout the summer as we prepare for a new season here in the UAE. But of course, Cup finals on the way, the Etisalat Cup final this week, and also, of course, coming up at the end of May, the President's Cup final as well. Football to golf. Rory McIlroy really has been a great golfer. World number one, not so much anymore because of Tiger Woods, but he's still there or thereabouts. He's still only about 22. Signing another deal because, of course, 350 million from Nike over 10 years is not enough.
It doesn't seem that way as well, and Rory McIlroy signing this past few weeks with Omega. Now that's important for people in this region because, of course, Omega are main title sponsors for the Dubai Desert Classic up at the Emirates Golf Course. Now that all, of course, means that it's now looking incredibly likely that Rory will be back at the start of next year for the Dubai Desert Classic, and it's great news as well because, of course, they are celebrating 25 years and they are hoping to bring the champions all back, and of course with Rory being a former champion. So his deal with Omega, great news for himself, more money in the coffers for him, but also great news for golfing enthusiasts in this region because, as I say, we could well have Rory back with Tiger Woods, a two-time champion. He looks set to come back as well, so great news for us all.
Yeah, can't wait for the Dubai Desert Classic next season. Really, the start of 2014 is looking phenomenal for sport. We've already mentioned the 25th anniversary for the Desert Classic, golf in Abu Dhabi as well. There's a new European Tour event in Oman, then of course the Qatar Masters as well. There's so many things going on, possibly Formula One pre-season testing as well, and another thing for the diary. I mean, we'll have the tennis as well in February, but something else in February now as well, a bit of cycling.
Yeah, a bit of cycling. Interesting news this past week. Of course, we did talk about this last January, but now it's been firmed up, the dates. The Dubai Tour 2014, February 5th to February 8th. A great announcement as well, and of course you may recall Alberto Contador, the former two-time Tour de France winner, he was in Dubai in January endorsing the event. He thinks it's going to be incredible. He thinks it's going to be a great addition to the cycling calendar. 4 days to start off with, but organisers have big plans to take it on board, and in actual fact one of the organisers said they have the plans to make it the #1 cycling tour in Asia. So look out for that in February. A great addition to the calendar, as you rightly point out, Tom. There's so many sporting events happening at the turn of the year, and that's just another added string to what already is a considerable bowl for Dubai sporting.
Cycling in Dubai really is coming on so much at the moment. I think it's 13 or so new cycle paths are being built around the city, so just call us Amsterdam or London.
Amsterdam, I like that.
It's all about the bikes in Dubai now. Chris McHardy, thank you very much for your time once again this week. We'll have plenty to talk about next week as well, of course. By then we should know all about Pellegrini and the Mancini situation at Manchester City, but there's also more things to talk about, isn't there? There's so much coming up.
There's an interesting one. We will talk about this next week in more detail, but of course Manchester City owners also looking at an MLS franchise. Now, as I say, we will have more on that next week. A very interesting one there. Of course, Manchester City going global, if you will, and New York's the place to be there. So, as I say, we'll have more on that next week, Tom.
They'll certainly be wanting to learn from their neighbours, of course, United, who are one of the biggest global brands there is. Chris McHardy, thank you very much, and we'll be joining you again next week on Sport on 7. Thanks for watching Sport on 7 this week. Now, next week we'll be talking, hopefully, to Peter Schmeichel, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, and Robbie Fowler, as they are in Dubai. We'll try and get a chat with them at some stage over the next week. We'll also look forward to a massive tournament, in fact, the biggest football tournament the UAE has ever staged, which is happening in October and November of this year in 2013. It is, of course, the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. More on that next week on Sport on 7. Until then, I'm Tom Bushell. Goodbye.